welcome to a new episode of the Crossfaded Podcast. And do we have a doozy today?
Is
um,
this three? Would that make this
Number three,
three?
yeah.
Right on. Trey,
Um,
the
Trey.
trifecta. What up?
Oh, that doesn't work anymore. Um, so a couple of things
Let's
we'll be talking about a TV show
the
today that I binged. Um,
a Netflix show,
I
yeah.
think yeah,
Oh,
Monday night and Tuesday, and
okay. Good for
then
you.
yes, season one is down. Two, something that Michelle had brought up when we were talking about our youth, our youth. Um, we had hilarious and shaky high school uh, memories and of our
So
experiences and
embarrassing.
stuff.
So embarrassing. I mean,
So,
now, right? Now that you look
right,
at it, do you just
and
not want to
and
punch yourself in the face? Oh my God, I hate
yeah.
myself. But
So she had thought because I had always thought that is what I remember of high school and where I was and what I did in high school, just a memory that I made up, and then like
we've added to
fam,
it like over the years.
yeah, yeah, you know how they have like false memories because it's been so long that what I remember might not be the truth. So she had
Similar to
mentioned
as
that,
when you go visit your elementary school as an adult. You're like,
yeah, and you're,
wow, this was so
this
much
is it,
bigger. I thought
right?
the
Yeah, this
hallways
is
are so big. And
the
now
room
you
is
are
like
the
a
hallway.
closet, right? So
Yeah.
we both went out, and I will make sure to cover certain areas. We ordered our high school transcripts, which are not been opened until today, so we
Mine
could
has
actually see
tape.
what happens.
They tape
Oh,
sealed
so
it.
someone
So
snooped. Oh no, mine is too. Okay.
no, because it's
Um,
official.
right now, so we're gonna open those up and read those. Now, the other thing that worries me about this is that how is 4 years worth of high school records and transcripts within like one sheet of paper? That's what worries me is that it's such a thin envelope that it's like, really? There
Yeah,
should be
like
more.
other
Your
people
permanent
like,
record, your permanent record that they keep telling you about your whole life is literally just a fucking post-it. So,
yep. So you're ready
so
for
do you want to do that first or do we talk about the show first?
I don't know. I'm indifferent. I have the
I
same
say
thoughts as well as that
let's do the show so it gives the lead up of the anticipation to this.
of the horribleness of the past. Okay.
Right. I'm expecting to open up the sheet of paper and it's just a big like photocopy of this, just a big fuck you.
You want to know what?
And
I expect to open mine and it not be the right one.
or just be a blank piece of paper. I'm like,
Or
well,
like the
that's about
wrong
high school.
year
Yeah.
or something. I'm not I'm expecting it to be wrong in some not for like what it has recorded, but either that it's like not mine or
Yeah.
there's
Well, it's been a fuck
something.
up. It's been since August that we ordered them and we just got them both within the last week. So,
So I wouldn't recommend the site.
right.
They
You
suck.
could probably just call your high school and say, send me a copy and
Call
be
the
done
school
with it.
district.
Yeah. Um,
All right, finish that
so
off.
Wentworth,
Okay. Tell me what
you've been,
what
you, yeah, you've been asking me for a while now to watch this show, which
hmm
is an Australian. I don't know if Wentworth was based off Orange is the New Black or if Orange is the New Black was based off Wentworth, which is usually how it works, is that the American version is usually based on a foreign, or
that
if they were just by happenstance and coincidence, they both were
happenstance.
being filmed at the at the exact same time, and no one knew.
It
But it's a female prison show from Australia. Yeah,
it was 6 months apart. Wentworth started first, and then 6 months later in the same year, which I think was 2013, is when Orange is the New Black started. So I don't know if they used that as motivation, but there are a lot of similarities. But the Aussies get it done where like in
Yeah,
Orange is the New Black, there was easily like a season or a few episodes where you're like, wow, this is just filler. They're wasting time. I'm on
yeah.
season 7, not one yet.
And okay. Yeah, I
And
would
I'm
say
very
I would
critical of what I watch. So it's,
I would I would I would say it's akin to The Office in the way that the American and the British version, the
yeah,
the American version is popular.
interpretation.
It's more popular because of it's our version and it went on longer and all that stuff. But the British version got away with putting so much more risque stuff in the show. They
Well,
talked
and I think this
about
one is still going on where Orange, I think, is done.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. So in the Office, of the British version, like there are scenes where they talked about like they found porn on someone's computer where someone's coming on someone's tits, and you can't say that in the American version. So I
well,
think
oh,
it's
and
it's a
also,
it's
are
a
you watching
harsher.
it with
Yeah,
closed caption? Closed
I am.
captioning?
I am.
Okay,
I am.
you have to because you will get an immense uh
Now I would say
Aussie
that
slang added to your lexicon.
yes. Now I will
First of all,
say
cheers.
cheers. Yes, we forgot to start the show, and I have a good couple ounces of Bailey's in this one. So
That's when you're easiest to deal with.
yeah, Lord knows we need it. Um, I will say I didn't have hardly any big issue with understanding anything.
No, but the
Um,
slang.
a little bit of the slang. I think the big thing is that there's a lot of soft talking in the show, especially in season one in the beginning. That
Mm.
unless you have your TV cranked, um, you miss some of the words being sent back and forth. So that's why I
So
like
how
the
far did
closed
you get?
captioning on. I finished season one. So
Okay, right on.
I finished the entire first season without sleeping. I
Okay.
finished um, the Vow, the Nexium one, like at 2 p.m. and I went downstairs, got something to eat, pissed, came back upstairs, and then
Start it
just
all
went
over.
through. And then I think I went all the way through to like 3 or 4 in the morning until I finished season one. And I started season two just by not thinking about it because,
It goes
you
right
know,
in.
yeah, it doesn't like if you're just hitting next episode, you don't understand. And I got about halfway through episode season one, and I fell asleep. So because it was just too long. So here is my review or some ideas.
Or so far, I want to know your recap, like on what you've seen in season 1. Like, what do you
Okay,
like? But go on. But I just
yeah,
want to hear
no,
your thoughts on it.
yeah. So the broad things I like. I like that they don't hold back. That
Hmm.
there is a lot of like the cussing, the they do a good job with nudity where they don't show it, but then they kind of do. Like
No
it's not
pussyfooting
it's
around.
no, it's not all in your face like Game of Thrones season one where it's just nudity, nudity, nudity. But they show just enough to give you the idea without having to like look
The
at this.
nudity is implied.
Correct, but not but not in a prudish way, right?
Correct.
So so that I liked. I like that the languages they use what they need to use because to be realistic, you're going to see a lot of that. I have always thought in my head when I see over the years, I see people talking about how prison isn't a deterrent and that criminals don't care about prison. I've always said that's bullshit because the number one reason I've never committed crimes is because I know I wouldn't last one day in prison.
That's the
And
only reason.
that's the main reason. The main reason why I don't commit any serious crimes is because I know that if I get caught, I
You have a
might as well kill
knife
myself.
right at someone's chest. No.
No, yeah, I would have to probably kill myself because I wouldn't be able to deal with prison. I know I wouldn't be able to. But my first thought when I started looking inside of an Aussie prison, and maybe it's just women, I thought I could probably do this. I mean, for let's say if it was a
The
three
setup,
months,
right? Of the
the
prison is
fact
kind of unique how they have their own like pods with their
this,
little
yeah, the cell
groups.
block is closed off, but all the cells inside are always open, and
They
they
have a
have a little
lounge.
kit, a lounge, a kitchenette where you have a coffee machine and tea and coffee. And they said,
I don't
it's the one
a
thing that
cuppa.
Vera had said
You
in
want a
the beginning.
cuppa?
Yeah, cuppa. She
I don't like
said,
that, by the way.
she goes, there's coffee, tea, creamer. We don't have a lot of
Sugar.
sugar. And I was like, oh boy, that must be like cigarettes in there. But then we realized that cigarettes are worth a blowjob too. So,
But this is what I
uh,
find fantasy like just really, really like I don't know. I'm like fascinated by the fact that like they even have a tea kettle. You
hmm
can boil some water and
and
throw it
not throw
as
it. Yeah.
and the fact that
But
that hasn't happened is very surprising because there's some creative like attacks there, but I just it didn't see. And then also their
you
mugs
don't have,
are
you don't
glass.
have
They're
to,
ceramic. You can break
they're
them.
ceramic. Sure.
So like
But you don't have to worry, Michelle, because there's a button on the wall that if something happens, you just hit it and then they come running. So,
you're not supposed to hit that button,
no,
John.
no,
This
you
is why
can't do
you
that.
would get killed in a women's sports.
Right. Um, now, the other thing that blew my mind is
Mm-hmm.
apparently they let you have your child in there with you. If a child is
Right?
under a certain age, you can have the crib in your
In your
cell.
cell.
And I was
You could
torn
have
on
a
that. I thought,
roommate you could have a roommate as your nanny helper too.
well, I don't think that was a normal thing. I think that was a situational thing, but yeah. So I think I was like, wow,
It
that's
was
really cool
I don't
because
know.
it keeps the moms close to their kids, which is a good thing. And I thought, it probably keeps the mom more motherly and not as violent. So there's a lot of positives. But then I thought, yeah, but look at it from the kid's perspective. Do you want to like growing up from like newborn to age 7 inside of a prison? I mean,
Yeah, because I mean,
now,
your surroundings, he's the kid's gonna come out and like think they need to be outside in front of their door for a count at 9.
right.
You
Now,
know, like
granted, the kid gets to come and go as it please. So at any time, if people on the outside say, you know what, we're going to take him for a few months or whatever, they can leave. I mean, so that's not a big deal. Um, that was shocking, but I thought, wow, I can if I was waiting for arraignment, if you will, and I was going to be in jail for like 3 months, 6 months, or whatever. That's a prison that I think I could deal with for a few months.
I think
If
for
I
like
was in, if I would,
infants,
yeah, if
they
I was
should
in there with
they
women, but then yeah,
yeah,
if I was
well,
in the male
God.
one, I don't think I could deal with it. I would just put on
Yeah.
a wig and say I was a woman. I don't know.
Uh, uh,
So that's the basic situation of the jail. That's my thoughts. Um,
they have
there
just
were
it's very like it's not what you would think like the bars prison. It's like each little pod, it's like its own little lounge and they've got like 6, I
they
think,
do have
cells
bars
to
for
each.
each pod. Yeah,
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 and they just lock up that at night, but like they could sit they have TVs in their cells. They have
yeah.
TVs
But
in their lounge. You can
I
hang
think
out and have
that's
like a
here
slumber
too.
party.
TVs in your cell, I think they have here at least, depending on like if it's maximum security or minimum. But like I know in jail here you have TVs. I don't know in
See, I
prison.
didn't know
I'm
that.
assuming. Well, I have insight through
Understood.
certain ways. Um, not that I've been. I'm just saying that. But
No. No, you
I
wouldn't be
know, I
alive.
know, I know a couple. Exactly. Um, let's see.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who's your favorite so far?
Okay. I'm gonna have to think on that because that's something
Wow.
that's something that with Orange is the New Black, and it's been years and years since I've seen that, at least the first season, that I could have told you real quickly who my favorite was. In this one, I don't know if I care.
Yet?
I mean, I love the show. I don't know if I care about each person as much as like with Game of Thrones, where I got attached really quickly.
Okay, fair enough.
Um,
It's still season 1. All right.
it is. No, I think a lot of the characters are interesting, but enough of the characters have enough flaws that I don't really. like any of them. I will say the one that I think is the nicest, and the one that if I had to be like a cellmate with or something like that, I'd say
Hmm.
Doreen. It'd probably be
Yeah.
the one. I think she's the one with the biggest heart, if you
Mm.
will.
Yeah.
If I wanted muscle, I'd want Boomer, because she's easily controlled and manipulated because she's dumb as dirt, but she's just a big oaf that just beats things. Hence why I think Frankie it has Boomer as her like bodyguard type person.
Yeah.
Um, the chinky one, I don't know. The Asian, I'm sorry, the Asian one. That's Frankie's girlfriend. I don't even know what her name is, but she's cute. She doesn't really ever talk, so I don't even know anything. But
She's not
they
there
should
for much.
yeah, they show her fucking a bunch of times, and she's just there to make out with Frankie. Um, I don't. I mean, if I was thinking purely of my dick, I'd probably say Frankie, but I don't.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know if
enough
she.
about her.
Well, no, I don't know if that's. I think out of all the people, I think that's the one person that I'm. If I don't think they got the casting right, and this is what I mean by that. Yeah,
Okay.
this is what I mean by that. I think with Jax, that makes sense. Like Jax, okay, that makes sense. I think with our protagonist, B or Red, I think that makes sense. I think all the characters fit their look and the way they play their part really well, except for Frankie. I think they try to make her attractive, which she is, but it's this back and forth about she laughs everything off, but then she's mean, but she's a really small, scrawny person. And it's almost like having a scrawny Barbie doll that's got an edge. But like, how is she supposed to kick anyone's ass when she's by far the smallest person out of anybody? And then when serious things happen, she just kind of looks cute and smiles and chuckles. It doesn't seem like jokery, like crazy smiley
Mm.
chuckle. It's almost like they're trying to make her look cute. But I don't know. It's something that it hasn't really. I don't see
Okay.
her as a badass. I don't see her as a badass. And
All
even though
right.
that's her main role in it, I don't see how she could be the one. I mean, I would think that Boomer would be the head of that, or or even Liz, just because she's smart enough to get people to do what she wants for her, even though she's not that type of person. Um,
Doesn't
I
Jax
just don't.
look like Martha Stewart?
It's a fat Martha Stewart. Yeah,
And
absolutely,
Martha
a
Stewart did go
hundred
to
percent.
prison.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wonder if
Jax
this is
looks
what it was
like
like
if Martha Stewart was like 280 pounds. Yeah, that was
in
basically who
Australia.
it is. The other thing that doesn't make sense to me is Braden being the same age as Debbie when Jax and her husband are like 80 years old and B is like 35. How are they have kids
Yeah.
the same age? That made no sense. If it was their grandson, I would make sense. Like, oh, it's our grandson. He comes to visit me. But the fact it's their kid, really? I mean, that
Yeah.
made no sense to me. So there were little holes and plot holes, but the story was good enough and it was fast enough pace that it went. Other things I had problems with. Mr. Jackson not really making a big deal that his wife died. Like, okay, so like
Excuse
when
me,
he
Mr. Jackson.
yeah, Mrs. Jackson. Woo. So,
I am for real.
yeah, yeah. So he finds her on the ground. He has a breakdown. He looks up at a girl covered in blood, and he just goes, ah. Like, wouldn't you just go up and start beating the shit out of her? Secondly, the next
What
day
did he do?
he's back. Next day he's back at work, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't think you'd be back here." And he goes, "Well," and he's all acting normal. What? And like he has like a little inner like, "Well, it's been 5 weeks and nothing's been found. One of you guys must know." And only once or twice does he kind of have like a little breakdown where he goes, I'm taking your hacky sack away. And he storms off and he throws it on the
Or
ground
when he
like
rips
a
up
fucking 5 year old. Yeah, or he
the
rips out the piece
the
of paper. Yeah, he's not beating fucking heads in. And the rest of the time, he's nice to everyone. Your wife was murdered by one of the people in here, and no one said,
with the
like,
fork.
right, like with a mangled fork. and like none of it seems to be a big deal. The only time he takes it out is when he's at home, when he does lots of coke and bangs random women. Which,
Right.
sure,
Angry bang.
I would do that to celebrate my wife dying too. But I mean, if you're going to be angry, like you don't take it out on anyone in the prison without a little bit more of I'm taking your hacky sack and I'm ripping up a fucking 3-year-old's picture. Really, that was really bizarre to me.
That's
Um,
his edge.
the Fletch Vera thing was weird and odd. I would say that if I had to fuck one of them, Vera might be it.
I was
Because
just gonna say
now here's the reason. She was cute in the
that.
beginning, and then
Gonna
she looked
get
a little
tits.
frazzled. But when she started coming to work with her hair kind of down and a little
Yeah.
bit of makeup on, I'm like, yeah, I'd do
She's
that.
she's trying. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
she got the crazy mom, but that's all right. And
So
I love the awkward scene when they were about to fuck, and then she said "ow," and then he rolled over and just started jacking off, and then like went to the bathroom to wash
you're
up and
like,
came out, and she's
he's
like, "I
like,
want you to go."
what?
He's like, "What? Like I'm just not gonna come?" That's fucking
You
great.
started something. I gotta finish.
And he's like, "Oh, just to let you know, the next day I was in the war and I saw some shit, so now I have to jack off in front of people." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know
It
everything's
totally
fine."
makes sense now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I hear girls
So
scream, it makes me come. Yeah.
so not to take too much time on
No, no,
Wentworth,
this is great.
but I want to know so
Oh,
how
yeah,
did it end off and how did season 2 begin? Because like I said,
right.
I'm in through
Trust me.
7 and I've watched it consecutively. So like
I
it'll
understand. I
okay.
understand. When people talk about like Game of Thrones and they're on season 2, episode 3, I'm like, am I allowed to say what do you think about this? Because I don't remember where the fuck everything happened. I know the
Exactly,
general
exactly.
time, so I know exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
So season
How
1 ends with
right.
Debbie getting killed by
Mhm.
Braden. Uh, Ray or B, I kept saying Red. B finds out, and Jax gets killed by B. Season 2 starts off with B in lockdown. Um, I think there's a couple new girls in the thing, and then I stopped watching right as B is kind of being walked back. Oh, there's a new warden, aka governor. They call wardens governors there.
I still can't get used to that, yeah.
Because I keep saying, "Hello, governor."
Me
That's all else I
too.
can hear in my head.
Yes,
So,
governor.
um, the new governor is like, "Oh, who's this person that everyone keeps talking about? I need to meet her." She's like in isolation and drugged up. They take her out for meds and they bring her back in, and they just show her being walked through the yard towards the cell, and then that's kind of when I stopped. So it's like the first 15 minutes. So that's
The
about it.
new warden governor or whatever, what was her name again?
They call her the Fixer, was kind of like what they refer to her as,
She
but I
was
don't
younger
remember
looking
the
though,
name.
right?
No, she probably looked like she wasn't younger than Mrs. Jackson or the slutty psychologist. She looked older. She probably looked in her late 40s, very stern, like a very angry librarian with a ruler that would just kind of smack people.
Got it.
Um,
Okay.
she 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 doesn't. It's all about strictness. She did mention that we're not having drug classes here because when I'm a warden, there are no drugs in prison, type thing.
Okay.
So Mr. Jackson was giving like a drug class, and then that kind of ended. And then the warden comes and goes, "Well, what are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, you know, with it, I used to be an addiction specialist or whatever." And she goes, "When I went in my last prison, there was a drug problem. When I left, there were zero drugs in my prison. So we're
Okay.
stopping this bullshit because." So she seemed to be like a real bitchy person. I'm assuming through season 7 and just what I've seen in the first season, governors drop like fucking flies because this is like the third, fourth fucking governor, and it's episode 1 of season 2 because it went Miss Jackson, Vera
And then
temporarily, and then slutty psychologist, and then now like stern lady. So,
Oh,
but
okay,
I
yeah.
didn't even get
I wanted to
I
make
didn't even get her
sure.
name.
Joan Ferguson. It's Ferguson. I wanted to make sure.
Ferguson.
I just
Yeah,
looked it up.
Ferguson. Yeah.
Um,
I wanted to make sure because yeah, I know. I know. I'm assuming that there's going to be lots. She did call in. I did see a scene where she called in Frankie to make a deal because Frankie's kind of the head person now that Jack's gone. Is that she said I want to make a deal with you, or maybe we can help each other out. And then of course, in the Frankie way, she's like, "Ooh, you're coming on strong," because she does look like a lesbian type woman. Um,
yeah.
and she's just like, no, I'm just saying, you tell me what's going on with and keep the women in line, and I'll give you more privileges or whatever. And she's like, cool. And then that was it. I mean, like I didn't watch the first episode all the way through. The first
Okay.
15 minutes until I realized what was going on, and then it was like I saw sun coming up, and I just tapped my screen, and it said season 2, episode 1. I'm like, oh, I need to stop,
Good
so I
place
kind
to
of
stop.
stopped. Yeah.
So, with women's prison in mind, we're going
Oh,
to
that's great. Yeah.
pop up the word of the day.
Oh, correct. Let me bring up Bam. All right. Please go forth with your knowledge.
It is relating to lesbians or lesbianism in such a way
Nice.
that I would probably say a sentence could be used as John enjoys a sapphic love story.
Correct.
An extremely
The,
graphic
yeah,
sapphic
a
love
triple
story.
X sapphic. In fact, I'm going to type into Pornhub sapphic and see if that's a category.
Oh, geez.
Um, yeah, when I looked it up, it said there were like two meanings. It said um, a poetic statement or verse having to do with
Of
lesbianism
lesbians.
or to do with lesbianism. So that's
So,
always good. I mean, that does
a
go well with,
sapphic love
yeah, a
going
poetic
on at Wentworth.
clit liquor love.
Yep.
Um,
Like,
I
so
like how Jax would always call Frankie Francesca or the bean flicker or the clit liquor or the muff diver.
they
It
have
was
some
like
good
constant.
names. They have great
Yeah,
names.
it was
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah. Excuse me.
All right. So,
All
what was
right.
the
So I'm
next
excited.
agenda there?
Well,
The
first
next
of all,
thing
I
on
want
our
to say
agenda.
that I'm excited for season 2. And my
Okay.
goal, since I really don't want to know about the world ending, which probably we won't know how the
Till at
world
least,
burns down till Friday.
yeah, we
So
got a couple days.
I think I might go ahead and see if I can binge season 2
Right on.
to like today, tomorrow,
I
and
can
then so
I put
Friday we can
that
do another
in.
update.
Let me pencil in the season 2. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Since we're
Also,
on 8, we're gonna stretch it out so we don't end it
I
completely.
can.
I'm gonna check out The Vow tonight.
Oh, good, because that's 9 hours.
All right.
Because
That's good.
there's 9 episodes, an hour each, and then afterwards you kind of want to like almost YouTube like the finality of everything, because some of the finality of everything that's happening, because it goes the documentary actually goes through September of 2020, and in October 23rd, um, a lot of the finalizations in the courts and stuff happen. So you kind of want to like research some. But yes, do the vow. I'll catch up with Wentworth,
Continue.
and we can get up on that. Secondly, I do want to announce that going forth um, in the foreseeable future, Fridays will be known as Faded Fridays, and we'll probably record a little bit uh, more in the afternoon slash evening, so we can not feel as shitty getting drunk and stoned.
It's the professional thing to do so you could have more time for your body to process so you can get the full benefit of the CrossFit.
Yeah, waking up at 10 a.m. and getting crossfaded, that's amateurish. I mean,
Yeah. No,
almost sophomoric, if you will. Um,
absolutely.
so, and
Sophomoric.
yes, I also believe we're classy when we do it. So,
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
and because we're both weight conscious and diet conscious, we will be using um, Trulies and White Claws to get fucked up because they are
It is a
calorically responsible.
seltzer based.
Yeah, it's calorically responsible with very few carbs. So,
Yes. So.
all right, who wants to go first? Do you want
No,
to open
same
yours up
time.
first? Oh my gosh! But then we're just going to sit in silence. I think one should read theirs first.
All right. Well, open
Uh,
the envelope at the same
okay,
time.
we'll open it up.
Uh,
Oh, it looks like a check. Oh, it's a photocopy of just one
it's
sheet.
like
Okay, I'm not going to look.
microfiche.
It is. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Oh my God, so it is 4 years. Okay, I just took a quick little look and it's split into four things. I've got something circled. I didn't look, but I have one that's like there's a big circle around the bottom part, like something bad happened. So I don't want to look yet. I'm gonna set mine down. I'm setting mine down on the keyboard, and I want you to kind of go through yours. Okay.
It's bad. It's bad because there's a lot of empty space. Right? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
look.
You went for one semester? Is it the right person?
I went for ninth. Apparently
You
not
only
10th.
went for your, you said you only went for the first semester of your sophomore year of 10th.
No,
It means you weren't a freshman and you weren't a junior and you weren't a senior. Like you
no.
went for six
I
months.
I went all of ninth grade, apparently 0 of 10th, but one semester of 11th.
Look at this.
Oh my God.
Because I think this is semester one, semester two,
Yes,
semester one, semester two.
this is
Oh,
ninth. 10th,
so
11th.
So like you skipped your entire 10th grade in your senior year. What the fuck? I don't remember any of this happening. I remember
You
eating
know what?
lunch with you for most of it. Did you just stay at the lunch tables the entire time and never go to class?
Right, I thought I guess if you go like drop before the semester ends, they don't even put it there
Oh, because
because
you
I
did
thought I was there.
secondary you
I
did
thought
secondary
I was
classes
there.
too. You did secondary classes too, but I remember having lunch with you sophomore and junior year, which was your or no, junior senior year, which was your maybe not senior. Sophomore junior year, I think, is when you're freshman and sophomore year, and
Wow,
then
I have 3 boxes out of 10.
8, 10.
Well, there's you have summer school, right? Don't you have summer school on yours? Didn't you have to go at one point?
I did, I think 2 times, but
So
I
that's
haven't
got
looked
to
at my
be
paper
there.
yet.
Oh,
So
oh,
yeah,
okay. So there's a slot for it there. So all right. Well, God, I'm embarrassed. Of course, I knew I'd be.
okay. So how many? I think, if I'm not mistaken, I
My
think I think you're allowed. You were able to get a total of six, six, 6 credits per year,
oh,
and which is three
ah.
credits per semester. So, what did you get the first
Um,
box?
where would it
Does it
say?
say like a point 0.5 or a 1 next to classes?
It looks like
It doesn't show credits at all.
it shows. I see a point 5.5. Let me see.
By the way, just
Mm-hmm.
seeing that of all the blank spaces on yours makes me feel so much better about
Shut
me
up!
because
Shut up!
I know that mine was bad, and I know I
Wait, but
barely like I didn't do anything, but
shut it!
okay, I'm looking.
Shit!
I'm
Wait,
looking.
look at yours and tell me where the credit are.
Oh, okay. So it shows the class name. It shows like I think the room number, and
Gosh.
then it shows point 0.5 or 0 next to each class in that third column in each row.
Okay. So for the first semester,
And
I
it
had,
shows grades. Holy shit, it shows grades.
yeah, it does.
Oh my
I have
God.
two
How the fuck
credits.
was how was I not beaten to a fucking pulp by my
I had two
parents?
two credits semester one of ninth grade, and in typing, I got a C. In Spanish 1-2, I got a B. In English 1-2, I got a C. I did better in Spanish than in
That's because your
English.
mom.
And
Your
in
mom must have helped with your homework.
world history, I got a C. But I got an F in intro to business and general math. Yikes. So semester two, I have two
Oh, here.
credits.
How about
And in
this?
general math, oh, wait, look. General math, second semester,
Yeah.
I got a B.
I mean, I got a B. That's fantastic.
I went from an F to a B. Amazing.
Because
That's exact.
I think after you got an F, you're like, I need someone. You need to fucking do this for me because I'm
I
obviously
gotta
just
get
gonna.
it. Obviously, yeah, because it went from F to B. Amazing. I'm so smart. Typing 1-2, I got a D, whereas to I had a C. I lost my typing skills. Spanish 1-2, I got an F. Ooh. English 1-2, I got a D. And world history, I got a D. The worst part of this whole thing is my absent days for semester two was like 28.25 days, and I was there 57.75 days.
Yeah, the present. I thought that was a percentage, but no, you're right. You missed how many absent days in the
On
first
semester, oh,
in the first
first
semester?
semester, I only missed 5.5, and
I
I was
missed
the
2.75.
nerd. I was there
And then
84.5.
in the second one,
It
I
all
think it was like
goes.
6.75. And then so here they really didn't. My teachers never really took attendance because it's saying absent 4.5, 6.25, 8.5. And I can tell
28.25.
you entire semesters where I didn't show up, and I was just in the cafeteria eating pizza, snacks, and pretzels. Um, I want to tell you over. I have a full year. I mean, a full thing here. Uh, Freshman, first semester, second semester, sophomore, first, second. So I have 8 things plus a and one summer school session, which is on the bottom. Out of all 9 things, my highest grade for my entire high school career, out of 9 boxes, was a C. Was my highest grade, and let me
I
tell
just
you,
realized too, I never got an A in anything.
yeah.
I'm
And by the
really,
way, all the C's, which were I never got anything above a D after my freshman year. My freshman year, I got C, F, C, D minus, F, C. That's my first semester. Second semester, C, D plus, D, 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 F. Now,
your
sophomore,
your
it's
sophomore
D.
second semester is when I was my ninth grade second semester when it all went downhill. Did yours go bad then too?
Yeah, my
They
sophomore year is when I was sober like one day during the year. My my first semester, these are my grades for my 6 classes. D, F, 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 F. It was all Fs with one D. And then my second semester, all Fs with one D.
That's
The
when you were friends
Ds,
with me. That's when I
yeah,
got a B in math.
that's right. I was more concerned about your homework than mine.
What did you get
Um,
in math?
I got a D in world history, and
Oh
then
my god.
everything else was an F. And
It's
then my
you're
second semester, I got a D in optic communication. Don't know what the fuck that is, and
I was
everything
just
else
gonna
was an F.
ask.
Did you
So you
see
got
that
an
in
F
yours?
in math. No, I just
Um,
remember that sounds from
yeah. Let me
familiar.
look here. Um,
Uh So if you take
Oh, you
your
know what's weird?
uh,
My first semester in ninth grade. Okay, okay, I took algebra my first semester in ninth grade. I passed that. And then I passed the second semester too. Those were where my highest grades were. Um, in sophomore year, I'm looking for math and I don't see it. I have graphic design, world history, English, German, optic communication. Oh, okay, then it's geometry. I say, yeah, I failed math.
well, I didn't second semester.
No,
What about GPAs?
yeah.
What was your GPAs in ninth grade?
Where do you find that at?
On the very first line says semester one.
1.17 was my
Mine was mine was
go ahead.
1.50.
Nice. For first semester. Second semester it was 1.08, then 0.89,
1.36.
then 0.89 and 0.74, then 0.71, then 0.69, 0.71, 0.64. My overall is, do they give you an overall thing here somewhere? Um, yeah, I
It's
don't see an overall.
I don't see an overall, but my first semester, 11th grade, which is the only other one aside from ninth, I had 1.0. But I didn't do the
Yeah,
points. And
my highest is 1.17.
kids, any kids
That's
watching, let this
this
be a
is
lesson.
horrifying.
This was not because we were dumb. We
No.
were stupid not to even like school was social. That's all it was. We didn't
Oh, a
apply
hundred
ourselves
percent.
in any
It
way
was a hundred.
possible.
It was 100% to hang out with your friends, make plans to get high and drunk later, get high and drunk at school. I mean, I remember smoking weed at the wall. I would be
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes in school. Um, we were. It was. Have you ever seen
We
that movie
weren't
Kids?
bad. We were
No,
just
but it was like
like interested in
we.
other things. Like our parents wanted us to go to school, so we're like, fine, we'll go. And then that was
There were
it.
there were. You're like, oh, we have to hang out there instead of here. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
There
Exactly.
are many things that we did that I'm surprised we're still alive, though. Um,
Mm,
if we
mm.
think outside of school of like parties and things we did and places we went, I'm honestly surprised that no one got really hurt or
See,
died.
but I still say we're mild. We were mild.
I think, well, hey,
I never
because we
felt like
survived it,
anyone could die.
no, well, I never thought that then because we were invincible. And now since we survived it, I don't think about it. But if I really think back to like certain memories of being fucked up, driving down the road. Um,
Oh,
I
stuff
there,
like that.
yeah, there were multiple times I was very intoxicated while driving. Because here's the thing, back then it wasn't a big deal like it is now. It really wasn't.
What, to
I remember
drive
getting,
drunk?
yeah, I remember getting pulled over by a police officer with like at age 16, 17, whatever. And the cop just made us pour out all the alcohol on the side of the road and then just let us go home. Like
Ah,
it was never like, oh, you're getting your license taken away. We're going to we're going to arrest you. It was never anything like that. I
I
remember
never had that.
we went to the lake one time with a huge amount of weed, and for fun, someone hung the weed in a baggie on the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
So when we went up in like a park
To
ranger
check
or
in.
like whatever to check us, he was like looking through the car and didn't realize it was literally dangling like a foot away from his head that we could have been like fucking arrested for.
Not
Um,
like yeah, now kids, it's legal. You know?
Parties we went to and some of the people we interacted with, like no one, well, with the exception of one girl, which we won't mention names, who used to accuse that it happened to her every party. But like no one got raped, no one got into fights. There weren't really anything big. I
No.
mean, it was kind of like we were really lucky. Like in the movies, when there's someone like in a war scene where people are firing bullets everywhere, and the guy's just running through, and bullets are like whew, whew, and never getting hit. Like that's kind of we were like the John Wicks of high school. I don't recommend that to anybody else, but if
I
you
don't
can
know
get through
how
without
that
any
happened,
damage,
but
right?
shit, yeah. I would actually. Mm,
Like no one overdosed or alcohol poisoning or anything. Like I didn't. My memories were never this bad at
what does
all.
yours say, like for summer school?
And the very bottom here, it just said I went one time and I got a half a credit. It doesn't show
What
um,
was it for? It doesn't say
anything.
what it was for.
Um, English, which is funny because I remember the teacher's name. His name was Mr. Abbey, and he was like mid 30s, early 30s. And his first, I remember this is what happened. His first day class, he goes, "All right, everyone listen up." He goes, "No one stress out. Everyone's going to get an A and everyone's going to pass." That's what he said his very first words. And
Yay!
he goes, just don't cause me any grief. We're going to throw in a bunch of movies. And we watched like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He just rented movies and played them on the TV set in there. And then at break, we would walk across the street to the desert because it was at like Paradise Valley High School, I think, or Horizon High
Yeah, yeah,
School is
yeah.
where it would that the thing was at. And I remember
Bell
there was a
Road.
desert across the street from the school, and we went across there, and I had brought a little pipe I hid in my wallet, and then we just get high at break, and then we'd walk back and just watch movies. There was nothing to do with English with that class at all. It was just
Except
the fact when you
no,
play this,
you understood the English in the movies.
and I understood the English language when he said everyone's going to pass, and I thought I
Oh my
understood that.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Well, this is definitely eye-opening. I did turn it around though because I have to find
one,
that cert
two,
my diploma from when I did
three, four,
eventually graduate via the
five.
correspondence, not by attending. So I did eventually get the diploma, but Jesus Christ.
I
This was
had a
just something
total
I didn't
of
want to do.
I had a total of
Here's the
no,
thing, John.
it's yeah.
Nowadays, if this was us in school, they would say there's learning
We would have been
disability.
kicked out. Well, we would have been kicked out a long time ago. Like I don't know. I remember like my mom and my dad always very angry with me, and I was like, I don't know why I was a good kid. And then I
Well,
look
your
at this
mom
now, and I'm
worked
like,
for the school, so you were probably the shame of the whole parent
she
teacher.
worked for the
Like,
school. She worked for the school district. She didn't work at the high school. But yeah.
yeah, but I'm sure they
Um,
all had like children that excelled and did well in
oh
school. So you were the
yeah.
shameful one,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the
Now
bad boy.
count how many all your point fives and add them up to see how many total credits you got. Like anything
Like
that's not an F, it should give you a
like
point five
total,
credit. Yeah, total.
complete. So I've got one, two, three, four, five. Five.
I have nine. And the worst part is
I
I
have
was
five.
there for all 4 years and summer school and I got nine. You were there for like a third of the time and got five.
Oh my God.
I
Wow.
you know what surprises me the most? I don't remember you not being there for all
That,
3 years I was that we were both there at the same time. I don't remember
what do you
because I
mean?
remember I was a year ahead of you, right? So when I was a sophomore, you were a freshman.
Yeah.
Now that means that from sophomore, junior, and senior year, I thought we were always there, like at lunchtime. Actually, now that I think about it, I think my senior year, you weren't at the lunch table, and it was some of the people, like your friends, like there was a Jen, I think, and a couple of people that were like there that I just met the previous couple of years, and it was a little weird without you being there. Kim was there
Maybe it
obviously the
blends
whole time
in.
because Kim was like perfect, but when it came to
She didn't
grades,
do great, but she
no, but
graduated.
she was always there, didn't ditch. She was
Yeah.
a good girl.
Eh,
She wasn't the most like intelligent, let's just say,
no, no, no.
and
Look,
nothing bad.
No, I
but I don't think
remember
she
with
screwed
her,
around as much.
we didn't have a class together and we wanted a class together. So we both went to our classes tardy enough time so they can drop us so we could have study hall together.
Okay, well that's good. At least there was
So
a plan. Yeah, but
there was forethought.
yeah,
But see,
maybe
that's just the
she
stupidest thing. That's
she
the
got her shit
dumbest
together. She got her shit together later in life, where we're still kind of fumbling for,
thing. We're
like,
struggling still.
yeah, we're
But
still
don't you
figuring out how
remember
to be responsible.
when we saw her
Yeah,
not that long ago and she was telling us about her daughter graduating and she said she was saying that her
that's
daughter had
not
the
my,
chords and she was like,
yeah.
"What's that?" And her daughter was like, "The honor chords." And she was like, "Mama don't know
She's
nothing about that."
yeah. She's like, that was not me. Yeah,
No, I didn't even know what it
that is
was.
true.
So,
I remember that there was. Okay, I'm gonna say names because these people are probably dead. So I remember. If it's a problem, I'll bleep it later. But
say it
it's not
later.
anything. No, 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 no. It was like
Okay, okay.
boyfriends back then, right? So I remember Kim was dating a guy,
Mm,
John Wolf. I think that's the name. I just remember it because the name Wolf, and that stuck in my head. And these were like criminal people, and I think his friend, you might have like very briefly dated, but there were like two criminals that were kind of like the bad boys. And I know she dated one for a while. And then, so I do remember the bad Kimmy as well in there. But comparatively,
comparatively, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
after
yeah.
looking at this, she is obviously way more into school than us. But
Yeah, something changed.
yeah, well,
Wow.
she also had an older brother that probably, beat her if she like decided that to drop out. Like,
Wow.
and she
So
had a
this was
younger sister that was she could have been more impressionable because didn't
because she do well. She did well.
didn't in we'll call her in didn't in like wasn't she like a goody in school for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like
Yeah,
think
I'm
honors,
not
but she
not
did
not in
well.
yeah not in a negative way, but yeah, she was a good student that
Better than
went to
us.
every state. Well,
Better than
anyone
us.
could have been. So
Oh
I
my
did
God.
fantasy. My memory was a lot of fantasy, to be honest with you. I knew it was bad. I did not believe it was this bad. Um,
You imagine how I feel?
yeah,
My
but
hopscotch board.
you had to have remembered that you were only there for a year and a half,
I don't though.
didn't
I
you?
thought I was there for 10th and then stopped at 11.
Well,
I
you
don't
were
know.
because you did half of ninth and then 10th. Is that what it shows on yours?
No, I did all of ninth and first semester of 11th. 10, there's nowhere.
Doesn't exist. You might
Yeah.
have been there. No, I think you might have been there and then they lost records or something because there's no way you skipped a year and then went back. Is that even
Or, I
possible?
mean, the only thing I could think of is that maybe, uh, like before the first semester ended, I was out and then they just didn't even, nothing
No,
counted.
because I would have not had my final semester of my senior year because I did drop out, but it does show a bunch of F's and zeros. Um, where's
No. Okay.
economics?
So this
Yeah,
says entry date September 88, withdraw date September 89, reason no show. Re-entry 9/12/89, withdraw 9/29/89, withdraw 1/22/91. So I don't know, there's missing a re-entry point.
yeah. I think you were there.
Not enough for it to
Yeah.
count.
Well, no, I think they just screwed up or they don't have complete
Reading
records.
proficiency I passed. See, like, I mean,
That's good. Well, you're reading
I wasn't
this,
like,
so obviously you're
yeah.
doing well.
My only issues is that it's a little small because it's like a microfiche fucking
Yeah.
copy.
I
Christ.
started 9/8 of 87 and ended 4/9 of 91, which was April, which is not when you normally leave. So, because it's usually
Wow.
like June. So,
Does it show you your rank? Oh God.
no, it doesn't, does it?
Yeah, it does.
In the
Look under your
class?
last name. I don't know if like for that semester school wise. See under your last name in the little boxes for it has rank.
Oh, no fucking way.
Christ. Christ. You want to know mine? In ninth grade, my rank was 392 out of 508, it looks like. And in the second semester of ninth grade was 405 out of 485. So there was 80 more horrible people than me. And then in
Um, no,
11th
mine.
grade, wait, 11th grade, I was 462 out of 4, like 82.
That's the majority of all mine. I was 508 out of 601. So at least there are like 93
I hate
people.
myself.
Uh, Second semester of my freshman year, I was 511 out of 582. This is when it starts getting sketchy. Soph- Sophomore year, 548 out of 582. Second semester,
Christ.
532 out of 551. Now junior year, 544 out of 558. 536 out of 543. There were only seven people worse than me. Um, Senior year, 551 out of 558. Only seven people
Oh my.
worse. And then my second semester senior year, it only shows out of 50 because I'm assuming at this point these were 50 people who had dropped out because I didn't finish the year. I dropped
Oh
out
my
like 2 months
God.
in. I was 48 out of 50. So,
Wow. Check up on the time. This is runneth over with this shit embarrassment.
the funny thing is, this
What?
this lady Camacho who signed it on the bottom with the
Mine
date,
too. Uh-huh. What is your
right?
date?
So a 1023,
Mine too.
right? So this is when
They did
they
them the
did it.
same
So
day and then we got it 3 days later. But we ordered it like a month before.
right, yeah, September 8th, 1987 to 4991. Oh, and then it says reason. It says to Polaris. So it doesn't show. I remember I did. That's right. I when I dropped out, I went to Polaris to finish the year out, and Polaris was the night school or the after school at Paradise Valley High School
For the
for all
rough and tumble.
the pregnant girls, the criminals, the drug addicts, and things
And
like that.
you.
I remember the teacher would say, "All right, time for a smoke break," and all the kids would leave to go outside to have a cigarette because half the people
Oh
were
my.
already 18 to 19 years old. Um,
Oof.
so, but
Check your time.
what I worry, we're right there. Um, what I was saying about Miss Camacho is that she probably
She's
pulled these up and then was looking at them real quick for accuracy and then sending them going, why the fuck would these people want to know any of
what
this
could
information?
this possibly be for? Not for
Oh my
anything good.
God.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Wait till I show my spousal that my guy is the one that like 99.9999 would piss him off because it had to be
Right.
100. So I'll have to let you know what goes on later. Like this is going to be an abomination. Like
Oh.
he tested into his high school because it was for like honor students and whatnot. So
Now I know why my dad was so disappointed in me and my mom was so angry at me. Like it all
now I
makes
know why
sense
they
when I
hated me. I totally
yeah,
get
I
it.
was like, why are they so angry and pissed at me all the time? If this was my kid, I would have beaten the living shit out of him 24/7. But they
I
didn't. I
really
think
would
it
have
was
slapped.
I was the last
They,
one. My parents were too tired. I was the youngest, so they're just like, fuck, whatever, just
and I think
go.
like with us, my parents like were still had youngers that they were dealing with that they were like, all right, they're just gonna have to go on
And you had
autopilot.
two immigrant parents, so they didn't
Correct.
understand a
That
lot
both
of the things going on.
went
By the way,
to college and got degrees.
but never mind, never mind. Oh my God,
They
they
did.
barely knew their language and they got degrees.
They learned
Yeah,
no, they learned their language and like went through high school and into college. So they just forgot to pass that on. I don't know, but I
did
said
did
that
did any of you except for number six go to college or like graduate college?
not with like collegiate degrees, but like I've got like we've got certifications,
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
no, yeah, but no bachelors or anything like that.
Oh, Tony,
Only. Oh, that's right, that's right. That happened much
Teenator.
later in life, but yes,
That's probably within the past few years, yeah.
yeah,
But
okay,
others than that, like
yeah.
I just
Tony,
went
Tony
a
was
fitness.
the studious one in the group besides number six, because number number three and four definitely were not, and number
All of the
one
numbers, all the
was a train
numbers.
wreck. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Whew.
moved on to like certifications in the uh I guess health and wellness for
Yeah.
myself. Um, but
Well, to think that with this somehow I was able to make a decent living through my life and even own a business, a successful business to the point
right.
to where I can travel the world means that this is all bullshit anyway. Uh, huh. That's
Huh?
yeah. What do you
Slap
know?
in the face. What the fuck?
I am shocked. Go I am gobsmacked, if you will. uh, flabbergasted.
I have no opinion yet, but I'm just like
That is shocking.
shocking.
The only thing I remember is when I opened it up and I looked, I'm like, oh, it does have all 4 years. I didn't look at anything. I just saw like a glimpse. And I went, okay, it does have everything.
That
And
it's
I put it
full.
down. Then you put yours up and it's like all blank with like three spots. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, I feel way better about it. And all this is that they have record that I actually attended some of the year compared to yours because mine technically grade wise
Oh,
was
jeez.
worse.
Really bad. All right. Well, on that note,
Well, all right.
I'm gonna
I
go
think that's
and
it.
drink some more.
Yeah. Drink
And
some more, and we'll. This definitely gives me motivation for Faded Friday because,
oh yeah,
and I think
this is
I think Faded Friday should be more loose in an open format, and we kind of recap of everything within the
like
week.
fast and loose. I like the phrase
Yeah,
fast and loose. All
because
right.
we're not going to be thick and straight anyway, since we're going to
Uh-uh.
be. Yeah.
Right on. All right.
All right.
So
Well,
I'm
everyone, have a great day, and this will probably be up in the next couple hours because I need to still kind of get ready and I don't know, do something with my
a,
life.
a
Yeah.
shameful goodbye.
All right. See ya. Bye bye.